Hey guys, it's Shan, and in this video, it's actually the very first video I'm going to be publishing to YouTube, and I want to talk about the 5 main reasons why I decided to get a YouTube channel. So this is just to be very clear with myself about my intentions, about why I'm doing this in the first place, and also I really hope that this can serve as a nostalgic video to come back to and look maybe a year into making YouTube to see what my intentions were at the beginning, and have they changed or evolved over time as my YouTube journey sort of progresses. So without rambling on and on, let's just hop straight in and see what the top reasons for me are to start a YouTube channel. So the very first reason that I wanted to start a YouTube channel was for accountability and documentation. I've always wanted to start blogging and writing out my life as sort of a series of on the blog that we use, makerforce.io. But I realized that a lot of people today actually don't like to read anymore. We've become used to this multimedia way of consuming information, and our information mostly comes from, well, YouTube and other online video platforms like TikTok and Instagram. So given that that's the case, I wanted to tap into that, and I wanted to do my documentation on video as well. And documentation, because I think that publicly announcing your goals and making it very easy for anyone to go check what your goals are and being able to talk about them online in a public forum actually keeps you accountable to achieve the goals that you set out to achieve. So that's the main first reason for why I wanted to do YouTube, is for this documentation and accountability aspect of writing or of talking in a video vlog. Alright, now on to the second reason for why I wanted to start YouTube. As a kid, as most of us, I think, we all learned stuff from YouTube. Actually, most of the things that I do, for example, coding or electronics or building circuits, all these sort of things, I've learned it on YouTube. Not from school. High school didn't have, for me, any computer science or engineering modules. It's all from watching random YouTube channels online. And I think that YouTubers are this incredible community of people. These are truly amazing people who create content that help people all around the world. And I just want to be part of that community starting now. And I want to find a way to give back. For all the content that I've consumed and learned from online, I've sort of integrated it, and I've created my own insights, my own opinions on things. So I think these things can add more value to the YouTube community. And I see this as a form of giving back some of the knowledge that I've gained over time back to YouTube. Alright, so the third reason why I decided to start a YouTube channel is to build a community. This is a phrase that gets thrown around a lot these days. You have to build a community, but as an entrepreneur, as someone who loves to create and make services and products and just build cool things that I think can help people, having a community of people who are supportive of the things that you make, who appreciate the things that you make, and who can serve as initial customers for the things that you make is so incredibly useful. Without that kind of strong community support, and especially with that kind of strong community support, it becomes very easy for you to launch your products and services into an existing audience space that can validate your ideas. And it provides this really quick feedback loop for the things that you're building. You can immediately see if something you're building has value to your audience, and they can give you immediate feedback, which you can then iterate on and build on, and then you can create your next iteration, and the process can repeat. But you can't do this if you don't have an audience. If you don't have an audience, you have to manually find people for every product you're testing, and that's very hard, and it lowers the speed at which you can iterate. So the third reason why I wanted to build a YouTube channel was to first get that audience space so that I can really quickly test and validate my ideas. Of course, there are many different platforms that exist today to build that audience, the main ones being Twitter and Instagram. But YouTube really stands out to me because, just like I mentioned before, it's a sort of multimedia consumption, which is the biggest way at which we consume information these days. It's through these multimedia platforms like YouTube. So I think YouTube reaches the largest segment of my target population, which are going to be the younger people, maybe at the intersection of students and entrepreneurs and technical folks who like to code. So that audience is the most easily accessible through YouTube and maybe marginally Twitter, but I'm choosing to focus on YouTube. So I'm an incoming fresh at University College London, so I'm going there in September. Right now it's the start of August, so that's about a month and a half until I get to London to go to university. And as a university student, I'm going to have to start to manage some level of financial responsibility. I'm going to need to earn some money to make sure that I can fulfill my own personal living expenses. So because of this need to fulfill my personal living expenses, I'm trying to build multiple different income streams to help ease that problem for me, because my main passion of building startups or doing entrepreneurship doesn't provide a very stable monthly return, which means I can't rely on it to pay for my rent. So I have to go for a normal job, like maybe tutoring. I'll make another video on that. So given that situation, any sort of avenue for me to earn passive income without putting in too much consistent effort is a way for me to ease the burden so that I can focus on my main passions of creating startups and creating products. So my fourth reason is to build these passive income streams. And this again is sort of a cliche for online people these days, like it's all about building passive income streams. But I think this is kind of in the middle of a hobby and a business at the moment. Like I don't really see any business value in YouTubing right now. It's more of a long-term play. So hopefully in a year from now, I'll be able to give this enough value so that it can return me some of the value that I've put in. And that's all I can really hope for. Like you don't start with the expectation, you just start with the grind and then you see where it goes. It's sort of like a YOLO sort of thing. You just try it out and see what happens. I think the biggest reason is the fifth reason, which is building new skills. So I've always been a very left brain sort of person. I loved science, math, programming, engineering, electronics as a kid, and I've dabbled a lot in those left brain related activities. But what I think I haven't focused on enough is my right brain. I haven't been creative or expressive or haven't done art or music very much in my life, and I feel like that's a big hole in my gap of skills. Yeah, I think it's incredibly important that you build this set of tools that you can use to solve problems in your day-to-day life. And that set of tools needs to be as diverse as possible so that your set of tools can fix the widest set of problems. As an entrepreneur, it's something that I take to heart. It's very important to have range in the things that you want to do and that you're able to do. So building that creative side of me is going to let me achieve that range. And I think that YouTube is going to be the best way for me to get there, because I have to learn new skills like videography, Photoshop, video editing, all those sort of different aspects that come in from running a YouTube channel that helps me really explore and go deep into my creative self and build up that different skills that I haven't quite had the chance to explore. So that's it. Those are my top 5 reasons for why I wanted to start YouTube. There have been like loads of videos that I've watched about how to get started on YouTube. Ali Abdal, that's one of my personal favorites. I'll link them all below, and if you are thinking of getting started and getting a YouTube channel, just start tomorrow. Don't wait. That's what all the videos say. Just do it. I'm recording this video actually just the day after I decided to get a YouTube channel, so there's almost no latency in the amount of time it took for me to set this up. I'm recording on my iPhone and it takes literally no effort to do it. So just do it, and every time you make the first step, the second step always gets easier because you get better at your skills and you get less afraid of being on camera and being out there. So based on this, just do it. And if you like this video, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time, probably sometime this week if I stay consistent, which I promise I will. Thank you so much for watching.